My child, someone is about to confess their true feelings. Listen carefully, my child, because this message is not reaching you by chance. There has been a silence around you that did not feel empty. There has been a hesitation around one person that felt heavier than ordinary distance. There has been something unspoken, something restrained, something hidden beneath calm words and guarded behavior. And deep in your spirit you have sensed it. You tried to dismiss it. You tried to stay wise. You told yourself not to build meaning around what had not yet been said. Yet the feeling remained, the question remained, the tension remained. And I tell you now, my child, some silences are not the absence of feeling. Some silences are the evidence of a heart struggling to hold back what it can no longer fully hide. Someone has been carrying something real, something deep, something they did not know how to say at the right time. Someone has been trying to remain composed, while their inner world has been stirring with words they have not yet released. This is why your spirit has felt the weight of unfinished truth. This is why your heart has sensed that not everything has been revealed. There are moments in life when a person reaches the edge of their own resistance. They become tired of pretending. They become tired of burying what continues to rise. They become tired of acting untouched by something that has clearly touched them. And when that moment comes, my child, truth begins to press toward the light. My child, I see the quiet prayers of your heart. I see the nights when you asked for clarity without wanting to lose your peace. I see the moments when you wondered if what you felt was real, or if it was simply your heart trying to understand an unfinished situation. I see how carefully you have tried to handle this. You did not want to chase. You did not want to force meaning. You did not want to create hope from fragments. You wanted truth. You wanted honesty. You wanted peace. And that matters. Because the reason I have allowed this waiting to shape you is so that when truth comes, it does not find you desperate. It finds you discerning. It finds you calm. It finds you strong enough to hear what is said without losing yourself in the emotion of the moment. My child, someone is nearing a place of inner honesty. They may have delayed. They may have retreated. They may have convinced themselves that silence was safer. They may have told themselves that if they waited long enough, the feeling would disappear. But real feelings do not vanish simply because they are ignored. What is genuine has a way of returning. It returns in memory. It returns in quiet reflection. It returns in unexpected moments when distraction no longer works. A person can step away from a conversation, but they cannot easily step away from what continues to live inside them. And when that truth stays, when it lingers, when it keeps pressing at the heart, eventually the person carrying it must face a decision. They must either keep pretending or they must finally speak. This is where some people begin to change. They realize silence is no longer protecting them. It is burdening them. They realize distance did not erase the truth. It only delayed the moment they would have to acknowledge it. They realize that what they kept hidden has become heavier than the fear of being honest. And this, my child, is often the moment before confession. Stay with this message, my child, because something important is still unfolding, and what your spirit has sensed may soon begin to make deeper sense. Not every confession is dramatic. Not every true feeling arrives with loud words. Sometimes truth comes softly. Sometimes it comes through simple admission. Sometimes the most powerful sentence is not the most complicated one. It is only the most honest one. Someone may be preparing to say what they should have said earlier. Someone may be moving toward the moment when they can no longer hide behind half distance and careful restraint. Someone may be realizing that what they feel has crossed beyond curiosity, beyond passing emotion, beyond something temporary. My child, what is hidden often grows stronger in the dark before it comes into the light. And when it comes into the light, it brings relief to the one who speaks and clarity to the one who hears. I want you to understand something. This is not only about another person. It is also about what has happened inside you during the waiting. Your waiting season has meaning. In this time, I have been teaching you not to depend on human timing for your sense of worth. I have been teaching you not to chase what should be offered freely. I have been teaching you how to stay open without becoming unguarded, and how to remain tender without becoming unstable. You have grown, my child. You have become more discerning. You have become more peaceful. You have become more aware of the difference between mixed signals and meaningful sincerity. This matters deeply, because if someone confesses their true feelings now, those words should meet a version of you that has learned how to hear clearly. They should not meet the old version of you that trembled under uncertainty. They should meet the healed version of you that understands peace is precious. Someone has been trying to silence their heart. They may have buried their feelings under routine, distraction, or pride. They may have thought that if they stayed still, the truth inside them would settle down. But my child, what is true rarely stays buried forever. It begins to rise in memory. It rises in regret. It rises in the realization that what mattered was never handled honestly. A person may begin to replay conversations, to rethink distance, to reconsider what they once treated casually. They may start to understand that what they pushed aside did not disappear. It waited, it remained, it grew clearer. And as this happens, confession becomes less about emotion and more about necessity. They no longer speak because they feel impulsive. They speak because remaining silent has become too heavy for their soul. My child, do not let silence make you believe you imagined everything. Do not let delay convince you there was never anything real beneath the surface. Some people are slow, not because they feel nothing, but because they feel deeply and do not know how to carry it with courage. Some people hesitate because they fear rejection. Some because they fear being misunderstood. Some because they waited too long and now feel ashamed of their delay. Some because they are still learning how to stop hiding behind emotional self-protection. This does not excuse confusion forever, but it does explain why truth sometimes takes time to find its voice. I want you to be wise enough to understand this, but peaceful enough not to be ruled by it. Your life is not on pause because another person is still gathering courage. Your worth is not suspended until someone finds the right words. Your future is not dependent on someone else's timing. You are still guided. You are still seen. You are still being led forward, even before anything is confessed. Keep listening, my child, because the heart of this message is still opening, and the next step in this story is not just about hidden feelings, but about why those feelings have remained. Some truths fade because they were never rooted. Some emotions vanish because they were never meant to carry weight. But when something continues, when it lingers through distance, through time, that through silence, through efforts to dismiss it, that says something. It does not automatically promise a future, but it does reveal significance. It reveals that what was felt was not empty. It reveals that your presence touched something that did not easily disappear. It reveals that there has been more beneath the surface than words allowed others to see. And now, my child, there is movement. There is inner stirring. There is a heart nearing the place where truth may finally be spoken. Not because it is forced, but because it has become impossible to hide. My beloved child, before a person confesses what they truly feel, they often go through a long private struggle. They question themselves. They doubt their own heart. They try to reduce what they feel into something smaller, something easier, something they can control. They tell themselves it is not the right time. They tell themselves they should remain quiet. They tell themselves it is safer not to speak. Yet, the more they try to make the truth disappear, the more they begin to feel its presence in everything. A certain memory becomes difficult to ignore. A certain absence becomes louder than expected. A certain person continues to matter in ways they did not fully admit at first. This is how truth begins to rise. It does not always enter with noise. It often arrives through stillness. It comes when a person can no longer outrun what keeps meeting them in their own thoughts. Someone may be walking through that exact place now, my child. They may be discovering that the feeling they avoided has not grown weaker. It has become clearer. It has become harder to dismiss. It has become a truth demanding honesty. My child, some people only understand the weight of their feelings after they have sat too long in silence. They only realize the depth of a connection after distance shows them what remained. They only understand the value of someone after they have tried and failed to forget what that person stirred within them. This can be humbling. It can confront their pride. It can expose the ways they hid behind control. It can reveal how much fear shaped their choices. And when this confrontation happens, a person begins to change. They stop asking only how to protect themselves. They begin asking what it will cost them if they never speak. They stop pretending that silence is strength. They begin seeing that silence can become a prison when it is covering something real. And this is often where confession begins. My child, not in performance, not in emotional rush, but in the slow breaking down of resistance. Stay with this message, my child, because something meaningful is still being revealed, and what you once thought was confusion may have been a hidden process unfolding in secret. I know you have tried to remain balanced. I know you have asked me not only for answers, but for peace. You did not want to be pulled by assumptions. You did not want to become emotionally trapped by uncertainty. You wanted what was true to come in its right time, in its right form, and with its right weight. That desire has been heard. That prayer has mattered. Because in your waiting, I have not only been working on the one who may be preparing to speak, I have also been working on you. I have been teaching you that truth should meet you in a place of dignity. I have been teaching you that real honesty does not need to be chased. It comes forward with humility. It comes with respect. It comes carrying the kind of clarity that does not disturb your peace, but deepens it. You may have wondered why certain words did not come sooner. You may have asked why something that felt significant remained unfinished for so long. You may have wrestled with the temptation to believe that, if it mattered, it would have been simple. But my child, not everything meaningful is simple at first. Some things are delayed because people are unready. Some truths remain unspoken because the heart carrying them is still immature, still fearful, still tangled in old habits of self-protection. A person can feel something real and still lack the courage to honor it honestly. That is why time has mattered. Time reveals whether a feeling fades or remains. Times whether a person is merely emotional or genuinely changed. Time strips away impulse and leaves only what has depth. If someone is still carrying what they never said, and if that truth has remained through time, then something deeper may be at work. Not noise, not fantasy, but significance. My child, there is a difference between fleeting attraction and true feeling. Fleeting things burn quickly and vanish. True feelings remain even when they are inconvenient. They remain when distance makes them uncomfortable. They remain when pride wants to deny them. They remain when silence tries to bury them. And because they remain, they begin to shape the person carrying them. They make them restless. They make them reflective. They make them reconsider. Someone may be in that exact place now. They may be rethinking what they overlooked. They may be seeing your value in ways they did not allow themselves to see before. They may be understanding that what they left unspoken has affected them more than they expected. This is why confession can become necessary. It is no longer about simply sharing emotion. It is about releasing a truth that has grown too heavy to hide. My child, I also want you to understand that true feelings are not always one-dimensional. Sometimes they include care, sometimes they include regret, sometimes they include tenderness, longing, sorrow, or the realization that someone mattered more than pride allowed a person to admit. This is why the words that may be coming are not always the words people expect. Confession is not always polished. It is not always perfect. It is often vulnerable, simple, and unguarded. A person may not arrive with flawless language, but truth has its own tone. Sincerity has a weight that can be felt. Humility has a presence that cannot easily be imitated. If someone is moving toward honesty, pay attention not only to what is said, but to how it is carried. Truth carried with maturity has peace in it. It does not manipulate. It does not pressure. It does not demand that you abandon the wisdom you gained in the waiting. It simply stands there, open and honest, ready to be seen for what it is. Keep listening, my child, because there is still more beneath this message, and the next understanding may help your heart stay calm when the moment of clarity comes. You have changed in this season. At one time, you may have been more easily shaken by silence. You may have searched for meaning in every small detail. You may have felt tempted to rescue what was unclear by carrying more than your share of the emotional weight. But I have strengthened you. I have taught you to breathe in uncertainty without letting it define you. I have shown you how to let truth reveal itself, instead of trying to force it into the open. I have taught you that your peace is not weakness, it is wisdom. And because of this, you are now better prepared to receive honesty without becoming overwhelmed by it. If someone is about to confess their true feelings, let those words meet your peace, not your panic. Let them meet your discernment, not your old fear. Let them meet the version of you that no longer measures your worth by someone else's ability to speak. This matters, my child, because a confession should not become your identity. It should become clarity. It should become understanding. It should become a moment where hidden truth enters the light and allows both hearts to stand on something real. Whether that truth becomes a new beginning, a needed explanation, or the release of something long unresolved, it still has value. It still matters. Because hidden truth creates heaviness, but spoken truth creates room to breathe. And that is what I want for you, my child. Not confusion, but breathing room. Not endless guessing, but clarity. Not emotional exhaustion, but peace. So, do not fear what may be approaching. Do not fear honesty when it comes with humility. Do not fear truth when it has been refined by time. What is meant to be spoken will not stay buried forever. What is real will not remain hidden forever. And if someone is indeed nearing the moment of confession, let it come with sincerity. Let it come with calm, and let it come in a way that honors all the growth, all the healing, and all the strength that has been formed in you during the waiting. Listen carefully, my child, because there is a sacred reason I have allowed this to take time. Hidden truth, when brought into the light too early, can still be mixed with fear, confusion, and emotional immaturity. But hidden truth, when forced to endure the weight of time, often becomes clearer. It becomes steadier. It becomes more honest. Time removes the shallow. Time exposes what was only temporary. Time reveals whether a feeling was merely reaction or whether it carried real depth. This is why some things did not unfold when you first expected them to. The one carrying these hidden feelings may not have been ready to speak them with the honesty required. They may have still been tangled in pride. They may have still been afraid of rejection. They may have still been trying to protect an image of control. But over time, a person begins to see what their silence has cost them. They begin to feel the burden of all they did not say. They begin to realize that avoiding vulnerability did not bring peace. It only created distance from what mattered. And that realization changes people, my child. It breaks through defenses. It softens what was rigid. It awakens what had been sleeping under layers of hesitation. Someone has been going through that inner awakening. They may not have spoken to you yet. They may not have shown everything on the surface. But inside, something has been shifting. Their memory has become sharper. Their regret may have become heavier. Their understanding has deepened. What they once called manageable is no longer manageable. What they once thought they could bury has not stayed buried. They may now be facing the simple but difficult truth that the feelings they tried to silence have remained alive. And because those feelings have remained, they are now moving toward a point where confession feels less frightening than silence. This is important, my child, because true confession is often born in the place where a person can no longer live comfortably in denial. Stay with this message, my child, because something meaningful is still being opened, and I do not want you to miss the peace at the center of it. If someone is about to confess their true feelings, I do not want you to receive that moment from a place of fear. I do not want you to assume that every emotional word must instantly become a future. I want you to receive it with calm. I want you to hear it with wisdom. I want you to recognize that the first gift of confession is not certainty about what comes next. The first gift is truth itself. Truth ends the strain of guessing. Truth places language around what has long been hidden. Truth allows your heart to stop carrying the weight of ambiguity. And sometimes that alone is healing. Sometimes the soul needs understanding before it needs direction. Sometimes clarity is the mercy that makes the next step possible. My child, nothing in your story has been wasted. Not the silence, not the waiting, not the unanswered moments, not the restraint you had to learn, not the prayers you whispered when your heart felt tired of not knowing. Every part of this has shaped you. You are stronger now than you were when this began. You are calmer now. You are more rooted now. You are less willing to romanticize confusion and more willing to honor peace. This is good. This is growth. This is why I have protected your heart through delay. Because if a confession was coming, I wanted it to meet a version of you that knows how to listen without falling apart. I wanted it to meet a version of you that understands. Your value is already established. I wanted it to meet a version of you that can receive truth without surrendering discernment. There is something beautiful, my child, about the moment when a hidden feeling is finally named. Not because emotion is everything, but because honesty is sacred. To say what was buried takes courage. To admit what was denied takes humility. To reveal what was guarded takes growth. And when a person reaches that place, it means something inside them has changed. They have stopped protecting themselves from truth. They have stopped hiding behind uncertainty. They have come to understand that some things matter too much to remain silent forever. This is why confession is not just emotional release. It is often evidence of inner transformation. The one who speaks is no longer who they were when they first chose silence. Time has worked on them. Reflection has worked on them. The weight of what remained unspoken has worked on them. And now, if they are indeed moving toward honesty, it is because something in them has matured enough to finally carry the truth openly. Keep listening, my child, because your heart needs one more reminder before this message draws toward peace. Your future is not hanging on someone else's words. Your identity is not waiting to be confirmed by someone else's confession. What another person says may matter, but it does not define you. You are already seen. You are already held. You are already guided. If someone speaks, let their honesty be received as a gift of clarity, not as the source of your worth. This protects your peace. This keeps your heart free. This allows you to remain open without becoming dependent on outcomes. And that freedom matters, because whether this confession becomes a doorway into something new, or whether it simply brings needed understanding, your life is still secure in my hands. If someone comes forward, let your response come from calm. Let your spirit breathe. Let the truth settle before you rush to name the future. Real sincerity does not need to be forced into immediate conclusions. It can be heard, honored, and allowed to reveal its depth over time. The right confession will carry humility. It will carry respect. It will carry a willingness to stand in honesty without demanding that you ignore everything you have learned. Pay attention to peace, my child. Truth that is healthy does not drag you into panic. It steadies you. It brings relief. It creates room for understanding. And if the words that come are genuine, they will not only touch your emotions, they will meet your spirit in a way that feels clear. My beloved child, do not fear this moment if it approaches. Do not fear what comes into the light. Hidden things can create tension, but truth creates release. And I want release for you. I want the questions that have weighed on you to lose their power. I want the silence that has lingered to stop controlling the atmosphere of your heart. I want you to know that what has been real will not remain buried forever. What has been deeply felt will not remain hidden forever. At the right time, honesty rises. At the right time, guarded hearts soften. At the right time, what was held back finds its voice. And when that time comes, my child, you will not need to be afraid. You will be able to receive it with peace, with wisdom, and with a quiet assurance that your story is still being guided with care. My child, let your heart rest now, because the final truth in this message is gentle, steady, and full of peace. If someone is about to confess their true feelings, then understand that this moment is not arriving to throw your life into confusion. It is arriving to bring hidden truth into the light. That is why you must not meet it with fear. You must meet it with stillness. You must meet it with the quiet strength I have been building in you through every unanswered day. You have already survived uncertainty. You have already walked through silence. You have already learned how to hold your heart with care when clarity was missing. This means you are not standing here fragile. You are standing here prepared. You are standing here stronger than before. You are standing here able to hear what is said without losing your center. Sometimes, my child, the deepest reason for confession is not just that someone wants to speak. It is that they can no longer carry the weight of not speaking. The heart becomes tired. The soul becomes restless. The silence becomes louder than the fear. And a person reaches a point where they understand that honesty, even if vulnerable, is more peaceful than pretending. This is why I tell you that what has been hidden often contains more intensity than what has been shown. People can hide words, but they struggle to bury meaning forever. They can avoid conversations, but not always the truth of what continues to live in them. If someone has been carrying real feelings, those feelings have likely followed them into quiet places, into reflection, into memory, into moments where they had no choice but to confront what they tried to set aside. And when that kind of confrontation lasts long enough, it changes them. It strips away denial. It weakens pride. It makes confession possible. Stay with this message, my child, because something beautiful remains at the center of it. Not fantasy, not drama, not emotional pressure. Peace. The kind of peace that comes when what was hidden no longer has to remain hidden. The kind of peace that comes when your spirit no longer has to wonder whether there was more beneath the surface. The kind of peace that comes when words finally match what has been felt but not expressed. This does not mean every confession is easy. It does not mean every truth arrives with perfect timing. But it does mean that honesty has healing in it. It gives shape to what was vague. It gives language to what was unfinished. It gives dignity to what was real. And in doing so, it allows both hearts to breathe differently. It allows both hearts to stand before truth instead of circling endlessly around silence. My child, your waiting season was not punishment. It was preparation. During this time, I have been teaching you not to force answers. I have been teaching you not to lose yourself in assumptions. I have been teaching you to treasure your peace, to trust discernment, and to stop carrying emotional burdens that were never yours to carry alone. This is why what comes next, if it comes, must meet you in that peace. It must not drag you back into old confusion. It must not invite you to ignore all the wisdom you have gained. The right truth, even when emotional, will still have a clean quality to it. It will not feel manipulative. It will not feel careless. It will not feel like chaos disguised as sincerity. It will feel honest. It will feel humble. It will feel like something finally stepping into the light after too long in the dark. There is also something I want you to remember, my child. A confession of true feelings is not always about building a perfect future in a single moment. Sometimes it is about release. Sometimes it is about restoration of honesty. Sometimes it is about giving voice to something that should never have remained buried. And whether it becomes the beginning of something meaningful or simply the answer your heart needed, it still has value. Truth is never wasted when it is sincere. Truth clears the air. Truth breaks the power of unfinished wondering. Truth allows you to respond from clarity instead of from imagination. This is why you do not need to fear it. You only need to receive it wisely. My beloved child, you have come too far in healing to let another person's words unsteady your soul. So, if they speak, stay grounded. If they confess, stay peaceful. If they finally reveal what they have held inside, let your spirit listen carefully. Not only to the emotion, but to the maturity. Not only to the feeling, but to the humility. Not only to the words, but to the peace surrounding them. Because peace will help you know what is healthy. Peace will help you know what is honest. Peace will help you recognize whether this truth is meant to open a new chapter, to restore what was left unresolved, or simply to give your heart the understanding it has quietly longed for. My child, I have not forgotten your heart. I have not overlooked the questions you carried in silence. I have not ignored the moments when you wondered whether anything hidden would ever become clear. I was there in all of it. I was there when you chose restraint over impulse. I was there when you chose dignity over chasing. I was there when you asked for peace more than answers. And because you chose that path, you are now in a place where truth can meet you without controlling you. That is a blessing. That is growth. That is evidence that nothing in your journey has been wasted. So, breathe now, my child. Release the pressure to predict. Release the fear that silence means loss. Release the old ache of not knowing. What is true will not stay buried forever. What is meant to be spoken will find its voice. And if someone is indeed about to confess their true feelings, let that moment come with honesty. Let it come with reverence, and let it come in a way that deepens your peace instead of disturbing it. Your story is still being guided. Your heart is still being guarded. Your steps are still being led with care. And the truth that belongs in your life will arrive when it can be received with calm understanding, with spiritual steadiness, and with the quiet assurance that you were never forgotten, never abandoned, and never outside the reach of my gentle hand. Type Amen.